YouTube world. You're now tapped in with Scenario the Illustrator. I'm back again with another video. And the topic I'll be touching on today is why your circle getting smaller. Well, Scenario, what do you mean by that? Okay, let's dive off into it. So boom. Why your circle getting smaller? One, you maturing. Two, you evolving. Three, your tolerance level is low. You don't have the patience. You don't have the acceptance of people, what they bring to the table. You're not accepting what people bring to the table. You're respecting your time. You understand the process carries a responsibility. The process carries a responsibility that demands attention. And when the process carries a responsibility that demands attention, you realize a lot of people foolishness doesn't play into your reality. It doesn't play into a lot of people out here just, they lonely, so they just accept anything that comes their way. It's just accept. Like me personally, through my personal experience, I only can speak for myself. Where I'm at in my life right now, I'm not just allowing and I'm not just accepting anything. I'm protecting my peace. If you're not on the same page as me, I'm not the type of person where I'm gonna force anything at once upon a time in my life. I used to try to put my ideology off on people, but when people stuck in their ways, you can't change them. When people stuck in their ways, you can't change them. That's what I learned when I was younger. You can't change nobody's philosophy and how they go about living their life. You just got to do you. You just got to do you. You just got to take care of what you need to take care of for yourself. Your circle gonna get smaller is because you recognize reality for what it is, where you're not going to pour in people's cups. That's not going to do anything for you. It ain't going to get you nowhere. It ain't going to do nothing for you. So 9 times out of 10 what's going to happen as you get older and you start to mature, you're going to do for yourself. You're going to, this is it's a road of loneliness to a degree. It doesn't mean that you're going to be lonely forever. It's just that you got some things that you got to take care of naturally. You got some things that you got to take care of. You got some responsibilities at hand. You gotta quiet the noise that's going on in your head. You gotta quiet the noise that's going on in your head that's distracting you. Because it requires your undivided attention. What you got to do to take care of your business requires your undivided attention. And when you wake up and you recognize it for what it is, and it's not just with one person. This is happening all around the globe. This is happening all around the world. This, when God, he picks and chooses his soldiers, he's real discreet and he's real picky about who his soldiers are. His soldiers is going to tap in. They're going to understand the ones that's not tapped in. They're not saying that, just because you're hanging out with a bunch of people. But for me, for my ideology, I'm looking at it like I can gain way more by being by myself. Because I look at people as a distraction. It's not that I choose to be alone. I want to be alone. I choose to be alone. When you choose to be alone, when you choose to separate yourself from all the BS and all the bullshit, You get what I'm saying? You understand? Like, there's no noise that's interfering or raising awareness of distraction. You by yourself. You by yourself. So when you by yourself, you get what I'm saying? You can figure things out way more faster to keep it buck. To keep it hunting and keep it all the way real. You gotta be willing to be by yourself. In the earlier stages, you know, in order to become financially free, I can't see a person going out there in the world hanging with a bunch of people. Like, how it's impossible for you to tap into who you truly genuinely are when you hanging. You know, you got too many people pulling and tugging at you. Pause. You got way too many people pulling and tugging at you. I can't see you figuring things out unless, you know, you around a lot of people that's gonna really help you evolve as a man. They're gonna help you evolve as a man. They're gonna help you evolve as a woman. They're gonna help you, you know, they care about your 401k. They care about your longevity out here. They care about your future. But if you out here just hanging out and interacting and dealing with people, and you just doing what you doing, you moving the way that you moving, and you not leveling up, you're not making it make sense, man. That's a problem. That's a problem. I'm just saying, that's a problem. That's an issue. You know, you ain't tackling, you ain't facing it the way that you're supposed to be facing it. Man, you gotta be smart out here. It's a certain way you gotta move. Anything and everything counts. Period. You know, when you locked in, what's realistically gonna happen, they're gonna look at you as a threat. They're gonna always look at you as a threat. They're gonna look at you as a threat, and you're gonna get tried. You're gonna always get tried. But you gotta be smart enough to recognize game for what it is. Period. You gotta be smart enough to recognize game for what it is. Your circle gonna naturally get smaller. It's because it requires separation. The information, the knowledge is highly sensitive. When God taps into you and He reaches out to you, that information is sensitive. It's sensitive to a degree where it needs to be protected. That's why naturally God, He pushes away all of those toxic people out y'all. He finds ways to remove these people. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. Like, get them gone. Get them gone. You just gotta stay focused and recognize the game for what it is. Don't look at it as a bad thing. A lot of people, you gotta be built for this. You gotta have a drive about yourself. You gotta be built for this. You gotta be built for war. You gotta be built for the battle. You gotta be built for the battle. You gotta be willing to be in the position and accept what's going on and what's happening. You gotta accept, you gotta be built for gossip, you gotta be built for scrutiny, you gotta be built for people just trying to lower your vibrational energy. You gotta be built for this. You gotta be unbothered. You gotta allow this situation for it to, you get what I'm saying, roll off your shoulders. Period. So when it rolls off your shoulders, you know what type of time you're on. You built for what needs to be taken care of. You know your tribe gonna find you. They gonna catch a vibe. They gonna catch a vibe. They gonna understand where you coming from. You ain't even gotta explain. I'm just saying. So, you know, if you out there in the world and you experience these type of things, man, I wouldn't take it personal. Not one bit. I wouldn't take it personal. You gotta let people speculate. You gotta let people talk. You gotta let people come up with whatever narrative that they want to come up with. It don't matter. Only thing that matters is about what you want and the direction that you going. That's why your circle gonna naturally get smaller, but you gotta recognize it that is realistically more money in your pocket and that you ain't even gotta share. That's what a lot of people don't realize when they underestimate. It was like you invest in yourself in all the BS and the bullshit, but you making way more money than they can ever imagine. You making way more while they over there you gotta allow people to speculate. You gotta let people get it out. I guess they need to, you know, some people, tell you honest God truth, some people just realistically bored and they have too much pride and they think they bigger than what they are. Realistically, what a lot of people need to do is just humble themselves. That's what a lot of people need to do is humble yourself. Turn your goofy down. It ain't even that serious. You know? But unfortunately, these are the type of times that we living in. You know? So you gotta just back up from the situation and the scenario. And you gotta lock in and recognize game for what it is. Period. Don't be out here overthinking things. You know, one thing people need to understand, people tell on themselves. Just listen. That's all you gotta do. Something so basic. Something so basic, you just gotta listen. When you listen and you pay attention, you're gonna get all the answers. I'm just saying. But it was just something on my heart. You know what I'm saying? That, you know, I want to put it out there for the tribe that understand where I'm coming from. You know? Wake people up, you know. My channel is for awareness. Making you aware. You know, but in the meantime, like I said before in some of my videos, put in the description, in the comments below, on topics I can tackle and I can approach it to the best of my ability. I can approach it to the best of my ability you know. And in the meantime, keep your head on a swivel. Stay 10 toes down. Stay blessed. Peace.